supplement right down to vitamins as well. So in response to your question, I can also personally relate to that question. So I've been taking supplements for the good 5 to 8 years. Hence, it's important that I also relate my experience to my proposal.
Yes.
Now moving on to the 3 points that I will summarize my proposal to you in 3 points. So point number 1.
You need to first state your opinion.
Okay.
Whether traditional channel or social media.
Okay. So coming back to your question, whether it's traditional or social media,
Yes.
I would strongly suggest you do both.
Oh, both.
Yeah.
Ah.
For 3 reasons. Reason number 1, supplements are consumed by a wide variety of audience, from old to young. For example, you have got the older generation who consume vitamins through traditional outlets such as mom and pop store. So to reach out to this older audience, you need to use traditional mediums such as billboard, newspaper, or magazines for that instance. But if you're reaching out to the younger audience who generally do not read newspaper or magazines, it's very advisable to engage them on social media such as Facebook, because that's where your audience is and that's where you should put your advertising. You should put your advertising money there. Point number 2.
Okay, for example, can you give for example?
For example, teenagers these days.
No. For example, Cordell
Okay. For example, Cordell.
advertises on.
For example, Cordell advertises on. Okay, I use a different example then.
Okay.
For example, if you ask a lot of teenagers where do they get their supplements from, they will most likely tell you they get it from iHerbs. And iHerbs is not something that is available in Malaysia. iHerbs is actually an online store that is available in the US.
But
They
will ship the product to Malaysia.
At a lower cost. So point number 2.
How do teenagers get to know about iHerbs?
Okay.
Answer the question.
So my question back to you is, how do teenagers get to know about iHerbs?
I don't know. How?
So most of the time, teenagers, what they do is they speak to friends. It could be face to face, or it could be via social media. And most of the time, it's on social media because kids these days spends 50 to 70% of their entertainment time on social media, such as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. So it's very important. That you engage them on these 4 platforms. So point number 2 is,
I myself became a customer of iHerbs through your experience.
I myself became a customer of iHerbs through getting to know them on Facebook, because their ads reached out to me.
Or through their advertisement. On Facebook.
Yeah. So coming back to that was point number 1. Now point number 2 is a good advertising strategy would to include both, because I'm thinking of points.
Share with me, please. Can you assist me?
Because I said both.
Your assistant will beside you.
Okay. Dapat. So point number 2 is both, because it gives you a better variety and also a better variety of targeting. So what I'm saying is,
So number 2,
better variety of targeting.
a wider audience.
Point number 2, wider audience.
Okay, so explain.
Why wider audience is on traditional medium, your audience are fixed. For instance, you've got a certain number of viewership on, you've got a certain number of readership on newspaper itself, because there's only a limited number of people read the newspaper a day. But on social media, your pool of audience varies by the interest. So for instance, if I'm looking to target people who are interested in purely pharmaceutical products, there could be a potential of 5 to 7 million. But if I am looking to target people who are interested in sports, the audience could be bigger. So why do I say that this gives you a bigger and wider audience? Is because on social media you can do customized targeting, but on traditional medium you are not able to do so. Now coming to my last and final point, which is point number 3, why we need both the medium is because it is also more cost savvy. Point number 3, cost savvy. During peak seasons such as Raya, or peak festival seasons such as Hari Raya, Christmas, Deepawali, Chinese New Year, most of the time audience are always on the lookout for offers and sales in the newspaper. So at this point of time, it's very important that brands are present in all these respective mediums so you can reach out to your audience. But during off seasons, you can approach them on social media, because they are not reading, they are not going to be reading
They are not
reading the newspaper during off seasons, but they will always be on social media on off seasons. So this is the time you engage and convince and persuade them and to talk to them.
For example,
Maggie. For example, Maggie does a very good job at this, because during festive seasons you see their ads all over the newspaper across all 3 different titles, BM English, all 3 different vernacular titles, BM English and Chinese. But during off season, you will see them on digital, sometimes YouTube, sometimes Facebook, sometimes Instagram.
Yes. For your information, they even have a store selling instant noodles on 11th Street. Yeah,
Okay,
Maggie.
that's amazing.
See, even you don't know. Because I
Therefore-
ordered the instant noodle on 11th Street.
Therefore, I urge you, and I hope you can plan your marketing spends on both
Therefore,
traditional.
I hope that you will consider.
Therefore, I hope you will consider your marketing spends on both the platform, traditional and also media, and also social media.
For the reasons
I
have explained earlier.
explained earlier. Thank you.
Okay, good.